Hi, hello, and welcome to the Study Knits YouTube channel. Hi, so welcome to the Study Knits YouTube channel. My name is Allie. This is my first knitting YouTube video, and I'm really excited to be making this, and I'm really excited that you're here watching it, so thank you. Like I said, my name's Allie, and I really like to knit. I'm also a medical student, hence study knits. But I live here in the US. I live with my cat Agnes, who you might see wandering in and out, or you might hear her yelling in the background. But yeah, so I'm a med student and I love to knit. I've been knitting for about like 3 or 4 years now. I started during COVID. Like a lot of people, I started when there was really nothing else to do. And then I picked it up as a little hobby and I never really put it down. I really enjoy it. I love that it's something you can do mindlessly watching the TV, or it can be something that's a little more complex and you have to think a little bit more about. This is my cat. I don't know if you can see her. Come say hi. This is Agnes. She doesn't like to be held. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, I've been wanting to make a knitting YouTube channel for a minute now. I've been inspired by a lot of the other knitting channels on YouTube, and I love watching them. And I was just really inspired by so many of them. And so I thought it would be a really good way to organize my thoughts and connect with other people and share a little bit about what I'm knitting and what I'm doing. So I guess this is going to be a podcast style episode. So I'll talk about some of my finished objects. I have 4 finished objects to talk about, and a couple of my whips, and then my acquisitions. So let's get into it. I'll start by telling you a little bit about what I'm wearing. I don't know if you can see it very well. This is the Field Day cardigan by Ozetta. I knit this with 1 strand of Knitting for Olive heavy merino. I love this cardigan. I wear it so much. This is like my first big girl knit, I would say. I made this maybe 3 years ago. I've been knitting for about a year when I made it. And it was really hard for me at the time. It's just a simple drop shoulder cardigan knit with the button band, is not knitted afterwards. It's just knit in vertical rib. But I'm really proud of it. I loved it when it turned out. It was exactly what I wanted it to be. And I wear this all the time. It's really great for extra warmth in the fall and winter. And then it's really nice just as an added layer in the spring or on like a chillier summer night. I absolutely love this. I probably will make another one at some point. This is my only cardigan that I have for myself. But yeah, I cannot say enough good things about this cardigan. I absolutely adore it. This is one of my favorites, and definitely the first thing that I made that I was really proud of and I still wear. So love it. So I'll start by talking about my finished objects. I have, I think, 4 to show you. First one is one that I just finished that I'm really happy with. This is my first spring summer knit of the season. This is the Semper Slipover V-neck. This is a pattern by the Knit Pearl Girl, Sophie. I love this. I knit it with 1 strand of Drops Flora in magenta and 1 strand of Drops Kid Silk in pink. And it's just a fun Barbie color. This is the second one that I've made. My first Semper Slipover V-neck is definitely more of a fall cardigan. I used a worsted weight yarn held with mohair, so it's really, really dense. The gauge is definitely not right, but it's definitely thicker, heavier. It's also kind of a golden brown color, so it's more of a fall vest. So I wanted a spring vest, and I've been heavily inspired by everybody's bright pink Barbie inspired knits, and I wanted one too, so I thought this would be a really fun vest to wear. I love the construction. It's got a really, really, really deep V-neck, you can see. It's like very, very deep. It's like an aggressively deep V-neck, and I made mine really cropped too because I like things really cropped and they take less time to knit, so it's a win-win for me. and the collar is like a folded collar, so it makes it really squishy and gives it a little bit more structure. So just a big fan of this of this vest. It's just a really simple vest. I wore it into the city this weekend. It was really nice to be wearing like some color, and I felt very springy in it. I felt very bright. I felt very fun. I usually don't knit with a lot of color. I usually stick to more neutrals, like earth tones. So I really liked that I knit this with like making it a really bright color, and it's really fun. Yeah, I felt very springy when I wore it. I felt very in season, and it was fun to play around with color and make something really bright. So I might do that again. We'll see. This is my first time working with Drops Flora. I'm a big fan of Drops because, like I said, I'm a student, so I'm not really working. I'm actually not working at all, so I have a very limited income. And I think Drops is just a really, I mean, it's like cheap yarn. So I think it's a good bang for your buck. For me, I really like it. I use a decent amount of Drops. This is my first time using Drops Flora. I really liked it. It felt really soft just feeling the skein, but knitting it with Drops Kid Silk made it a little itchy. I don't love Drops Kid Silk. I use it a decent amount just because it's so cheap, but I never will make like a sweater or a scarf or a hat or something that's going to be on my skin using it. I usually will use a bit of a softer mohair if I'm going to go for a mohair for a sweater. So since this was a vest, I used the Drops Kid Silk since I'm only going to be wearing it over like a turtleneck or a t-shirt or something or a button down. But so it is still kind of itchy because of the Kid Silk. I'm really interested to swatch the Drops Flora with a softer mohair. I feel like it could be a really soft combination, and this could be a good like substitute for like an expensive fingering weight yarn. So I'm excited to see what the Drops Flora feels like with a bit of a softer mohair, because I might end up using that combo for like a sweater, a scarf, hat, cardigan, whatever you name it. But this is my Semper Slipover V-neck, my spring Barbie vest that I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. So love this pattern. We'll make more probably. My next finished object I don't actually have with me because I made it for a friend and I gave it away to her because I didn't want to hang on to it for too long. I wanted to give it to its rightful owner, but it's the Oslo Sweater by Petite Knit. I knit this using Filcolana Arwetta in the color Alaskan Blue with Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in Dusty Dove Blue. I have my swatch here, a little reminder for me of what it looks like. You can see the colors are like slightly different. I don't know if it's catching that, but you can see the colors are slightly different, so it gives it more of like a heathered look. And I think it really tones down the Filcolana Arwetta because it was a really bright blue. And so I think the Dusty Dove Blue kind of tones it down a bit, makes it look a little softer. I really liked knitting this sweater. It's a drop shoulder, kind of boxy fit with a really squishy neck. The neck kind of cinches in the shoulders, so the neck looks really, I don't know, it looks really squishy. It's really nice. I finished it and I tried it on and it was really comfy. It felt like a fancy sweatshirt. So, I mean, I was happy that my friend has it and I'm really glad I made her something, but on the other hand, I kind of want one for myself, so I might make one for myself later. I followed the pattern exactly, including a Petite Knit suggested adding an elastic thread around the collar on the inside because, like I said, the collar kind of cinches in the like shoulders and the neck and the body. So there's a lot of like stress on the collar. Kind of, I feel like it without the elastic, it would tend to stretch out and would gape. I'd never added an elastic thread in before. Agnes, stop bugging. Anyways, I had never added an elastic thread into any of my knits before. I know a lot of like summer tops suggest this, like sleeveless tops to keep the armholes from gaping. I don't know why I'd never done it before, but I thought I would add it in for this one since I was giving it to a friend that doesn't knit. I thought it would be better for like longevity, and it was really easy, and I feel like it made a really big difference in the sweater. It just gave it a little bit more structure. So I have like leftover of the thread that I used for this sweater. So I think I might go in and add it to some of my summer knits that this is like armholes are kind of sagging a little bit. So overall, like I'm very happy with how this sweater turned out. It was really fun to knit. It was really easy. And at some point I do want to make one for myself. I feel like it could be a really simple addition, like it would be a good like staple sweater to have in the closet. But I don't know if I'll get around to it this year, so it might be like a winter, fall of 2025 kind of thing. This was also my first time working with the Fioccolana Arwetta. I'd never worked with actually any of their yarns before, but I really liked it. I felt like it was warm but still soft. It wasn't itchy. It wasn't itchy on the skin, which I really liked. So I could definitely see myself using this in like a sweater or a hat for myself later. So yeah, that's the Oslo sweater. And then transitioning nicely from the Oslo sweater, I'll talk about an Oslo hat that I finished. This is also by Petite Knit. I also used Fioccolana Arwetta for this one. This is in the color Nougat. This is for my boyfriend. This is his third Oslo hat that I've made him. He likes them a lot. It's just it's a simple beanie. It looks a lot like the Carhartt beanies that are really popular. So, I mean, it's a simple beanie. It's really great. It's really fun to knit. This is, I think, the 9th or 10th Oslo hat that I've made. I pretty much always have one going. I do like to have a simple knit kind of going all the times, and it's usually this one. I don't love wearing these personally because I just find them really tight. They're not as stretchy as like a ribbed hat, and so I feel like they mess up my hair a little bit. So I'll wear them if I'm going to be like outside all day or if I'm having a bad hair day. I think I have 2 or 3 myself, but these aren't my favorite like go-to hats just for putting on to go outside and then going inside and trying to look cute again. I don't know. I have sometimes a bit of a hard time reading patterns and following the instructions. This is the size large, and it's supposed to be 120 stitches, and I instead, for an unknown reason, cast on 130 stitches. And I only realized when I got to the part where you needed to divide for the decreases and the divides weren't even. So this is like really big. This is like a really big hat. It's kind of big. Like it's a little too big for me. I hope it's not too big on my boyfriend because I really don't want to have to remake it. So I'm going to hold off on blocking it until he tries it on. And then if it's too big, then I'll just suck it up and remake it. But I would rather not. So yeah, this is the Oslo hat. My last finished object is one that I'm really excited about. This is the Berlin scarf by Suzanne Muller from Paula Street. I love this. I'm so happy with this. I knit this using Drops Melody. This is the color Pearl Gray. I saw this on Instagram, and when I saw it posted on Instagram, I knew that I was going to have to make this. It looks just like those trendy scarves that people are wearing with the fringes at the bottom, and it's like thick and fluffy, and this is just a really thick scarf. Look, I mean, this is a warm, thick scarf, and it's really, really easy to knit. You basically do a provisional cast on, and then you can see it's knit in the round and stockinette until you get to the end, and then you do the fringes and you kind of close the tube. I thought that the fringes would be a little, I mean, they were tedious to knit, and but they weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. They're double knitted, and there's only 10 of them. They really weren't that bad. I thought it was going to be worse. The part that was bad is I didn't read the pattern, and you're supposed to work some decreases before you do the fringes, and I didn't read that I needed to work the decreases. I just jumped straight to the fringes, and I did about 4 of them, and then realized I was going to end up with like 15 fringes, and you're only supposed to have 10. So I had to undo the 4 that I'd already done, work decreases, and then work the fringes again. So won't make that mistake again. My own fault. No one to blame but myself. Um, but yeah, they really weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be. I haven't woven in the, or no, I have woven in the ends, but I usually wait until I blocked the object to cut the ends. So I'm waiting until I block this to cut off the ends. I'm getting a head start on my Christmas knits. I love gift knitting for people, and so this is actually a Christmas knit. I bought a lot of the Drops Melody for this, and I'm gonna make myself one. I have the yarn for it already. It's this like turquoisey blue color, but when the yarn arrived, it was like early March when the yarn arrived, and I realized that by the time I finished it for myself, it wouldn't be cold enough anymore where I am to wear it. So I would kind of like make it and then put it away for the next season. So I decided to just go ahead and get one of these out of the way for as a Christmas gift. And I have yarn for another one for another gift that I've already started. But yeah, this was actually a pretty quick knit. I went home for a week and I brought this with me because I thought it would be easy to knit on the plane and just to grab because it's mostly stockinette. And I finished it in a week when I was home, so it knit up really really quickly. Yeah, I'm super happy with how this turned out. I'm really excited to make myself one. Uh, this is a nice transition to my whips because one of my whips is another Berlin scarf. As you can see, not nearly as long as the other one. I just started this one. This is also in Drops Melody, but this is the color beige. Um, I do like this yarn. I will. One thing I forgot to say about this yarn, it's really nice. It's soft. Another Drops, like a less expensive alternative. I think I think the pattern calls for a Sandnes garn yarn that was was really expensive for me. So this was just a cheaper alternative. Um, this yarn, it's a brushed alpaca, so it kind of gets everywhere. I was knitting it on the plane, and I would just look down after like 10-15 minutes and there would be fibers everywhere on my leggings. So this time around I'm just knitting it with like a blanket covering myself, like a barrier basically. So you can see here I did the crochet chain provisional cast on, which is what they recommended in the pattern. I'd never done it before. I'd never done this provisional cast on before. I really don't know why I've never done it before. It's incredible. I feel like a lot of the other cast ons, they're either really easy to do and then really tedious to take out when it's time to make the stitches live again, or they're really complicated to do and I feel like I'm having to do calculus or something. Like they're really difficult. This one was really easy to cast on, and when you undo it, you just like kind of pull at the thread, and there's no like having to use a crochet hook or use another needle to like rip the stitches out. It was just incredible. So this will be my new go-to provisional cast on, the like crochet chain one. I'm a big fan. Nothing else really to say about this one. It's just a good, easy pattern, and I'm really excited to get to the one for myself because this one is also a gift. So I think I'll make mine like next fall or something. Another one of my whips, my other whip. This is the Ghost Whisperer top by Park Williams from Park and Knit. I just last night finished like the front and the back and joints, so you can kind of see it's like a tank top. I knit this with one strand of Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the color Cloud. I have never knit a like lacy, you can see it's very like lacy, kind of a holy shirt like this. So I'm really excited. It's been fun to knit. Um, I don't know if I'll enjoy wearing it. I feel like it'll look really cool under like a sports bra, like a colorful bra, a fun bralette or something like that. I just don't know if this will be, the mohair will make it too like warm and suffocating, or if the holes will make it cool. I don't know if this is like a winter thing. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy wearing this, but I'm having a really fun time knitting this. I am using this yarn. I bought a bunch of Knitting for Olive merino and mohair to make a sweater, to like knit the merino mohair together in a sweater, and then I like a colorwork sweater. And then I decided I didn't like the way it looked, so I unraveled it. So I have a bunch of just like small quantities of this yarn and not like a big sweater quantity. So I was trying to decide what to do. I have a lot of this mohair in cloud. So I was trying to figure out what to do with all of this cream mohair, and I was looking on Ravelry for patterns, and I found this one, and it was described as when you wear it, you feel like a slutty little spirit. And so they had me at slutty little spirit. So yes, this has, the pattern calls for just, I think, kind of like above the elbow puffy sleeves. I've seen a couple of projects on Ravelry of sleeves that are like 3/4 sleeves or like full length sleeves. So I don't know if I'm going to make the sleeves a little bit longer or if I'm going to stick to the kind of above the elbow sleeve. But I guess I need to decide soon because I will start the sleeves probably tonight or tomorrow. But anyways, this is the Ghost Whisperer top, and so far it's been fun. I'm excited to see how it turns out and how I like wearing it. So my last whip, this whip. I have a love-hate or like a hate-hate relationship with this whip. This is the Rift sweater by Jared Flood from Brooklyn Tweed. I think from Brooklyn Tweed. I'm knitting this in Hip Knit Shop Pop Merino in the color Milk and Cookies. This is another project for my boyfriend. He has a couple of like big garments. He has a sweater and a cardigan that I've made him. And he was really wanting a sweater that he could wear over like a button-down shirt. So we went on Ravelry together and we found this pattern that he really liked, that I really liked. It's really fun to knit. You can see it's got these cool, like this cool ribbing on the side and this ribbing that goes up the armholes. This is knit from the bottom up. So I've gotten the body done. This is the back, I believe, that I've gotten done. I need to go to the front next. It's fun to knit. It's challenging. The problem is again, this is my own problem, but I gauge swatched and I took my boyfriend's measurements a couple of times and made a size, and I started knitting it, and I knit the whole body, the front, the back. I knit one sleeve, and we're doing long distance, so I don't have him around to try it on all the time. So I finished the one sleeve, and I tried the one sleeve on myself, and it fit me pretty well with nothing underneath. And I was like, this might be too small for him if he wants to wear a shirt underneath it, and it's fitting my bare arm like comfortably the way it would be supposed to fit him underneath, like on top of a shirt. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is too small. So the next time I went to visit him, I brought him the one sleeve and I had him try the sleeve on, and it was way too tight. So that was in like November, and I kind of just sat there with the knowledge I was going to have to unravel this whole thing and make a size bigger. So finally, like last month, I unraveled the whole thing that was like 90% done. And then I just started working on the size bigger. So again, that's me. Oh, that's actually not even it about this sweater. The first time I made it, again, read the pattern, Allie. I didn't read the pattern, and I made these. I placed the like side ribbing that feeds into the armholes. I read the the like stitch number dividing. Like I read the stitches wrong, and these were placed like 10 stitches over the other way. So I'm knitting happily, ignorantly knitting, and then it comes time to divide for the front and the back, and I realize that there's 10 fewer stitches here and there's 10 more stitches here. So then I basically was just dropped all of the stitches and reknit them with a crochet hook as if I was picking up stitches, and then went through all that hassle, and then it was too small, and then I had to make it again. So I might put this away until next fall because he's realistically not going to wear it over the summer, and I might just pick it up in September, and then maybe I'll feel a little bit better about this because I still look at this and I kind of wince when I think about all the hours that I put into it. But yeah, again, no one's fault but my own. But still, it hurts to look at. It really hurts to look at. Ripped sweater, everyone. Bane of my existence. I only have one acquisition to talk about. I ordered all of my spring and summer yarn. It hasn't arrived yet. So this is my only acquisition. This is the Sewrella yarn sock set in my Chiefs era. I don't know if you can see how cute this label is and how cute this yarn is. I love this. I've just recently become a sock knitter. I never used to be a sock knitter, and I had some some leftover yarns, and I decided over like Christmas time to make some socks for myself, and I really enjoyed it, and I really have enjoyed kind of throwing them on when I'm around the house when I'm a little cold. So I guess you could say I'm in my sock era now, and this was like a one day only sale the day of the Super Bowl. And the day of the Super Bowl, I was visiting my mom and my boyfriend and my dog, and I was flying home. I was flying back here, and I was sitting in the airport. I was a little sad. I was having a little airport beer, and I was on Instagram. I don't know if I saw their post or somebody else posted it, but it was like a one day only sale. And I was like, one, this will make me feel better. This will make me feel less sad about leaving my mom and my boyfriend and my dog. I am a huge Swiftie, obviously. Huge Swiftie. And so thus I'm now a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. So I saw this on Instagram the day of the Super Bowl, and I was like, if I don't buy this, the Chiefs will lose, and it will be my fault. If I do buy this, the Chiefs will win. And guess what? The Chiefs won, so I did this, basically is what I'm saying. So now that I'm in my sock era, I'm kind of trying to like play around with different socks and I guess find my like go-to sock pattern. This is their nylon sock set. I think they have a couple of different sock yarns, but this is the nylon one. So I'm trying to find a good go-to sock pattern for simple socks. If you have a good one, like a good go-to sock pattern, let me know because I don't have one yet. I was perusing and I was looking at Suzanne Moeller from Paula Strick, the same person who does the Berlin scarves, and I really like a lot of her patterns. She has a couple of, they're called the basic sockins, and she has like a heavy, a medium, and a light one. So I was thinking about making the light version with these. It's got a cute like striped pattern at the top that kind of gives it like a like sporty kind of look is what I'm thinking. So I thought that would be really cute. And I have a couple of other leftover fingering weight yarns that I could use for like a middle color in the stripe. So I'm thinking about doing that and maybe casting that on sometime this weekend or next week. But let me know if you have a better sock pattern that you like because I need to find a good go-to sock. But yes, this is in my Chiefs era. It's just so cute and the colors are so fun. I am so happy that I bought this, even though it was very impulsive. I'm really happy with this. But yeah, that's it for today, I think. Thank you for watching. my very first knitting YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back here soon. Thanks again, and bye!